Hello guys, welcome again to my channel PT Learn for Free. I hope you guys are doing well and my videos are helping you in clearing your PT exam. Thanks for your overwhelming feedback and support to my channel. I'm seeing there is a huge increase in my subscribers and the comments and the feedback that I'm getting, that it's helping you a lot, is very helpful for me, and really thank you. I hope I keep on making such free videos for you and help you pass PT to get good scores. So today I'm going to touch base with read aloud section, because I think this is something which many of you are struggling a lot, and also I got a couple of feedback that the videos in my channel is was not that great. So I tried to make a better video on this and hope it will help you in scoring good marks in read aloud section. So read aloud is something which I think many of you are struggling, I think, and yes, it is a very one of the most important section in PTE, because it contributes, especially in speaking and reading module, and I really consider this as one of the big four section. Read aloud, is a section which normally has a lot of weightage in PTE, especially in speaking section, and that is where many of you struggle, to in read aloud. And there are a lot of questions, a lot of queries which you are asking, like, how to go about read aloud. Some are saying my pitch is very high, I don't know when to pause, when to stop, whether I should go slowly, or whether I should speak fast, how should I go about it. So yes, today I'm going to discuss again on this topic. And yes, my previous video on read aloud has already have more than 1500 views already. So but yes, I hope this will give you more clarity on the read aloud section. So guys, as I have already said previously, the main thing before you start any PT module is to strategize first, to understand the marking criteria. I feel most of you are putting so much effort, but yet you are coming and saying that I'm doing so much preparation, but yet I'm not getting my desired score, 65 or 79 or 50 plus. Now what's the reason? The reason is you are just doing preparation, you are not doing any strategy, you are not strategizing yourself, you are not understanding what's your weak and strengths are. If you understand what's your weak and what your strengths are, and if you strategize the scoring points, you will definitely be able to nail down any module. So before starting any section, guys, I would recommend you to go to the PT website to understand how PT basically gives you the marking. So in read aloud, as I said, this is mainly speaking. So PT basically gives you score on fluency. You get 5 points, pronunciation 5 points, and content 5 points. You are given a text and you get 35 seconds to read it. So the first task is in your PT exam will be read aloud. You always start with speaking, so read aloud will be your first module in PT. It will not say read aloud, will just start that section. So be mindful for those who are giving PT for the first time. Read aloud is your first section that you are going to give during PT examination. So guys, I was talking about the strength and the weakness. Now many of you are from different countries, you may not be from an English speaking nation, you may have a different accent, you may have an issue of pronunciation or pitch, or you may falter in pronouncing some difficult words. So how to go about it? Some may not have fluency. So guys, if you see, the three criteria is fluency, pronunciation, and content, right? So if you are not that good in pronunciation, try to, you know, concentrate more on speaking fluently. When I say, and if you're not that great in fluent, then try to, see that you don't miss any content, you don't misspell a word, you focus more on pronunciation. So, work more on your strength. No if you are good in all the three, then well and good. But for those who are really struggling in their pronunciation, content, rather than making mistake in one criteria, at least try to get full points in other two criteria. Like if you are good in fluency, you're not that good in pronunciation, try to get full mark in fluency and content. Whereas you are good in pronouncing the word but you are not that fluent, then try to get more full marks in pronunciation and content. Like that, you need to strategize yourself so that you understand what is my strength, what is my weakness. But yes, obviously work on your weakness. I would definitely recommend you to work on your weakness, but this is how you strategize. You have to understand that when you are attempting a speaking module, PTE will definitely mark you on fluency, right? How fluently you speak. When I say fluent, it will be like, speaking normally, like a normal conversation that you are doing, right? Or you are reading something, right? And yes, pronunciation, content. So these three are the main criteria. Out of that, I would say fluency and pronunciation. Number one will be fluency, number two will be pronunciation, right? So content, yes, many of you are writing to me and asking, in various channels, various social sites, asking that whether we can replace a word, whether we can change the word to some other words. So PT clearly says that, if you see in the video over here, I mean, the PT clearly says that for the content, each replacement, omission, or insertion of a words count as an error. So guys, I don't know, there is a theory that is going on across various Facebook site or various channels, or various PT online tutors are telling that, you can replace a word, you can skip a word, you can insert a word when you are doing read aloud. So guys, I don't know whether that's working for you or not, but even after doing that, you're not getting the desired score, then definitely it's not working. For me, when I was giving the PT exam, I never uh, took this approach of replacing a word or removing a word or inserting a new word, right? So it clearly says that replacing, saying a different word. For example, if there is a read aloud para where it's written few years ago and you say few months ago, definitely you will be penalized. You may not get full marks for content. uh, Omitting a word or skipping a word, not reading a word and skipping it, for example, few years ago and you read few ago, so yes, you are losing marks over there. And inserting a word, like in adding a word from your and reading a word that is not there, for example, few years ago and you read few months years ago. So PT is going to mark you on that. See, understand clearly, it is a computerized based examination. So the text which you are going to read, that text will already be there in that computer, in that interpreter. And whenever you start reading that words, it tries to match that word, the computer tries to match that word which on the text which it already has. So if you replace the word, then definitely it will go and check that that word does not exist, then there you go, you are losing the mark. It's as simple as that. So I don't know if someone is telling that you can replace a word, you can omit a word, or you can insert a new word. I highly doubt that works in PT. If someone is telling, someone can prove it, well and good. uh, because I to be honest, I have never followed that method, and I would also request you not to go into all these things, because see, it's a speaking section, right? If you have been already given a predefined text by the PT examination, and if you're altering that text, or if you want to say how you are comfortable with, then definitely there's no point of giving an examination, right? What is the point of giving an examination if you are making up or you're adding your own words of your choice? If that would be the case, then everyone would add, a very simple words, and everyone would have got 90 in all the sections. So guys, I really doubt that this works. So I would request you to not to replace any word or skip any word on purpose, right? If you do it by mistake, that okay, but don't make this as your strategy that you're going to skip the word, you're going to add the word. Don't make that strategy and read the text. If you are doing that by mistake, that's okay, right? So moving on to the next, scoring. So yes, the read aloud section definitely contribute. It's a major contributor in your speaking and your reading model. Now those who are, I think speaking section, I feel most of you clear speaking section. Maybe yes, there are someone who has some issues in that, but majority of the people clear speaking section, and now reading section is the one where people find challenge. So guys, if you are not getting good score in reading, then definitely you are making a mistake in read aloud. Now read aloud is a major section in PTE, right? If you have to take this section, a section very seriously, you should avoid making any mistake in this module. And if you do that, you will see that you will be able to get desired scores in reading section. So please ensure that if you're not getting good marks in reading section, read aloud, work on that and take that module very seriously. So read aloud is a very important component in PTE, and it contributes to both speaking section and reading section. Now let's move on to the tips and tricks and some strategy. Yes, fluency. Now fluency, it's like many ask like, how should I speak? You should speak how you normally speak, right? Every people is different. And you have a different accent. You come from different countries. Whatever accent would be there, you don't have to speak on a native English speaking nation or any other speaking nation. You accent or an Australian accent or a Canadian accent or a US accent. No, you don't do that. Whatever normal accent you have, use that accent and speak. I never changed my accent when I was um, reading the read aloud. I used my own accent and I talked normally. Pronunciations, speak clearly. Do not miss the words or add words by yourself. Sorry, it's a mistake. Instead of words, it has written works. So as I mentioned, before that, whatever the word um, you are finding it difficult, or if you don't try to add any word, don't try to um, miss any words. Try to speak clearly. Try to pronounce the word clearly so that you don't lose the marks in your pronounce section. Word stress, yes, I think many of you would be after giving the PTE examination, many of you would think that my read aloud went fine, but still I did not get good marks in speaking and in reading. Why is that? Even though you think that you have read the text properly, but there are certain mistakes which no one pays more attention to. It's like the word stress, like the words ending with S or word ending with ed. For example, boys, right? If in the text there is a word boys and you have read the boy, these boy were standing, for example, the word is this boys were standing, but you read these boy were standing. So instead of boys, you said boy, right? You didn't stress on the word, on the letter S. So the interpreter will not come to know. Interpreter will think that, you are saying boys instead of boys. So you should say these boys. Z, z. Look, how I ending the word with z. So if you do that, then interpreter will come to know it's not boy, it's boys, and you will not lose mark in content and pronunciation, right? Standards is how I am stretching. I'm stressing the word is. I'm not saying standard, I'm saying standards. So this is small steps which I think many of you make mistakes, while doing the read aloud, and it is very simple, right? You know how to say the word boys. It's so simple. It's not a difficult word. But if you end up saying boy, then yes. So no matter how much hard work you do, you read, but if you don't stress on that letter S, on the word ending with letter S, then you will lose mark. For example, liked. See how I'm stretching that word ed, right? So that it doesn't sound to the interpreter that I'm saying like. I liked. So he would know that it's liked and it's not like. I like. So definitely you will lose mark. Smoked. So you need to stress on those words to distinguish between smoke and smoked, like and liked, boys and boys, standards and standard. So be very careful, when these kind of words you find in the examination, right? Also, like reading year as year, like 1996, read as 1996 and not 1996, right? Because it's a year, it's not a number, right? Whenever you see the years written, read the year as how year is read rather than just reading 1996. In the year 1996, 1996, you have to write you have to read you have to read 1996. Currency, there could be, a dollar sign or a rupee sign or a pound sign or a, yen sign, whatever. So if you see that, then you have to read. You just don't say 200, you just say $200, right? And since the dollar is in the front, don't say dollar 200. That's how the dollar is written. Dollar symbol always comes in the front. I think the currency symbols always come in the front. Doesn't matter dollar or any currency. So always say $200, right? Don't say 200 or don't say dollar 200. Say $200. Now there are other words like ending with apostrophe s, like that's, it's. So it is that's, it's, and it is not it is or that is, right? Whenever you say that's how it is done. That's how it's his box, right? That's his number. So how I'm stretching, how I'm stressing on the apostrophe s, that's, it's. So this is how interpreter will come to know. So you need to be very clear in this, right? There's no rocket science, right? It's an easy word that everyone would have learned that word, right? It's not difficult to pronounce, but how you speak during the examination, how you stress on these words, that's where that makes a difference between a 65 score or a 79 score. That's where you make a difference, right? For those who are scoring 45, 50, start doing this word stress tips, start implementing this word stress tips in your read aloud, and you will find the difference in your scoring for sure. So yes, one more thing people ask, like, what should I do? I get 35 seconds in the examination. I've read the text. Should I wait for the prompt to finish? No. As soon as you finish, click on next. Move to the next text, start reading, right? You don't have to wait for the prompt to finish. As soon as you finish your answer, you do it. And that's for all the speaking module, right? As soon as you finish the answer, you move on to next. Okay, don't go back and correct any word which you spoke wrong or missed it. For example, there is a tendency of us that whenever we make mistake we try to correct back. For example, once you complete reading sorry once you come so if you do this, if you do this, you will lose marks in fluency. Even you do mistake, even you know that you have missed a word or you have spelled the word incorrectly, guys, don't go back and recorrect it. Just move on, just keep going, because no matter what, you don't have to hamper, you don't have to, damage your fluency, you don't have to spoil your fluency. Be Make sure that your fluency is not hampered. Your fluency should be accurate. You keep going, don't go and correct it, because then you will lose more marks, right? If you have misspelled a word, if you have missed a word, that's okay, you will lose in content, that's okay, but you don't have to lose in fluency, right? So that's how you need to strategize your read aloud, right? So you will have a preparation time of 30 to 40 seconds. In that time, guys, please read the text, and try to identify any difficult words which you think may be difficult for you to pronounce, right? Try to practice by reading it loud rather than just, whispering, because it's like a mock preparation that you are already doing before your actual prompt starts, so you would know where you would falter. So what I do is, like, whenever I get this sometimes to prepare, I start reading, how I will read when the prompt starts, and try to locate or try to identify that keywords or that difficult words which I think will give me trouble, right? For And also I try to identify the comma and the full stop, right, in there would be in the sentence. So whenever there will be a comma, I would be giving a very minimal pause, and wherever there will be a full stop, slightly bigger pause, and then I will read. So it gives you, a preparation. So guys, make full utilization of that, to prepare yourself. The end goal should be that you need to read fluently. Forget about mistakes, forget about difficult word. Your entire text should be read in a fluent way, in a normal way. So if you don't know how to pronounce a word, then yes, you can skip it, or you can pronounce however you want, right? If you find any difficult word, don't replace that word, right? Anyways, you are going to lose marks because you're not going to pronounce correctly. That's okay. You can either skip the word if you think that will be easy for you, right? Or you can pronounce however you want, right? Because if you pronounce however you want, maybe you may not lose mark in content, you can get in fluency in content, you may not get in pronunciation. So if you don't at all skip the word, then you may lose in pronunciation and content both. So that's how, you need to strategize, right? So even if you think that there is some difficult words in the passage, don't get disheartened. You need to focus on fluency. Just keep going, don't change your fluency, right? Don't hamper your fluency, don't change your fluency rate, the pitch or the flow that you have already started speaking the text. Don't, you know let don't stop at all for any difficult word or any word you have missed. Just keep going, right? It should look like that you have read a passage in one particular normal flow. So guys, these are some of the important tips that you need to work during examination. And during the examination, I feel most of you get panic, try to rush a lot. Just relax, calm down, take your time, ease out, okay? When you are reading, ease out. You need to understand that uh, don't don't stress that you have to make everything correct. Don't take that pressure. Do your best. Okay, it's okay if you skip some word or mispronounce some word, but at least you are not losing your fluency. Okay, so here I have a passage or a text which I'm going to read you, uh, how I normally read during the PT examination. So you see, this passage. I'm going to read in small short sort of time, but if you see over here, there are words, what so when I see a passage like this, what do I do? What should my first step? you know First I will try to read it and try to identify the words where I think I require extra stress, or whether I think there's a high probability of me losing mark. For example, these decay uh, subjects. Now you see, this is a word which is ending with letter S. So if I say subject, I may lose mark. So I need to keep in mind that when I'm reading this word, I have to stress on S. Looked. See, looked. So another word, pictures, various objects. Then there is a comma. So I need to pause a little bit. Then took, either a placebo or a pill containing. Over here I see a number, but it's a weight. So 200 milligrams, not milligram, milligrams of caffeine. That's it is not that is. So roughly the amount you'd see, it's you'd, not it is you'd get from 2 cups again. So guys, that's how you need to strategize when you get that, starting 20, 25 or 30 seconds to prepare yourself to identify this kind of keywords, where you think that when the prompt will start you may get stuck, you may pronounce wrong, right? So identify that words and try to read it, prepare it, so that when the real prompt starts, it becomes much more easy for you, because you have already practiced how to speak that word. So that's how you need to strategize this. So if I have to read it in a normal tone, how do I read it? Taking into consideration there is comma, there is full stop, there is apostrophe, and that. So let me read it for you, how I would read this passage in during the exam. Just hear me out and see, like, my accent, my flow, how it is. Okay, so here we go. These decay subjects looked at pictures of various objects, then took either a placebo or a pill containing 200 milligrams of caffeine. That's roughly the amount you'd get for 2 cups of coffee. Click on next. Done. So you see, I stretch on the words you'd. I didn't say you would. So many of you will say you would. That's means that is. So how I stretched on the words ending with letter S, ending with letter ed, so that interpreter will know that I'm telling the correct word. I'm telling the word looked and not look. I'm telling the word that's, not that is. I'm telling the word you'd, not you would. Right? So in this way I can get full marks in fluency, pronunciation, and content. So guys, this is how you have to uh, go about your PTE, read aloud. And there is no extra preparation that you need to do. If you think there is issue with your English speaking, it's really not that great, I would encourage you to start reading some articles, or start reading some newspaper, or listen to more of movies, or try to talk with yourself in English, try to communicate yourself in English. For example, this is also one helpful tip which I found, which helped me improve my communication, is like, the moment I used to get up in the morning, and I used to say that what I'm going to do today in English, right? Make that habit, try to speak, do a lot of conversations in English, so that it will improve your fluency. You will find that out. So these are some of the tips and tricks which for read aloud module. And I hope, guys, this will help you to score full marks in read aloud. Please like and subscribe my channel. If you find this video really helpful, I would request you to comment it. And if you want me to bring up a video on any other module which you are really struggling, then I would definitely be very eager to help you, would love to help you. So please like and subscribe my video, and come and share your comments how you like this video. And I hope every one of you flies PT with pass PT with great score. Wish you all the best. Stay healthy, and keep liking my video. Thank you. Have a nice day.